Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is the Unboxing AI webinar series, and this is me going solo. Uh, I still don't know why, but we thought that there's a lot to talk about for Carpal itself. So we figured that it might be useful that I talk into a screen for half an hour about what we are up to, about some of our offerings and all of that. And this is episode number 37. Still can't believe we've been doing this 37 weeks in a row. Shout out to the marketing team and to the rest of the team that makes all of this happen, to our partners, friends, customers who join us here. Um, it is also exciting to see that I think we have the highest number of attendees ever. So no pressure whatsoever. So again, my name is Vidur. I serve as the Chief Executive Officer at CARPL.ai. If you do not know what CARPL.ai is, today is your lucky day because you get to know what we do beyond just the one sentence that I normally say, which is we are your friendly neighborhood AI platform. Quick note about today and the next three webinars. So we are doing a four webinar series on Couple, on our offerings. You know why we do certain things. I will be emphasizing a lot on the why and less on the what. If you want to know about the what, just reach out to us and we can tell you about what we do at hours at end. So the idea is for this to be extremely interactive. The reason explicitly we have gone for a webinar format over the past year and intend to do so over the next year as well is we want we want the conversation to be driven by you and not by us. So please feel free to use the chat function, the Q&A function, uh, WhatsApp me, email me, whatever. Call one of my colleagues if you have a question, but do not hold back. Today we are specifically going to be talking about uh, Couple's offering on the discovery side of AI. So what does that mean? Well, as some of you may know, some may not know, what does CARPL do? CARPL connects AI applications with healthcare providers, improving the access, affordability, and quality of medical care. Essentially, the triple aim of healthcare. And these are some of our differentiators, some of the things that make us unique, some of the things we are proud of. On the right-hand side, you see our AI marketplace. I will be diving much deeper into this today. On the left, some of the things we are proud of. So we believe the only enterprise imaging AI platform out there that allows you to build, test, deploy, and monitor clinical AI. In your radiology practices. We are the only FDA-cleared and CE-marked AI platform on the market today. We over-index on compliance here at Couple. We just one of those things. We take a lot of responsibility upon ourselves to be not only the best but also the safest option for our customers out there. We are the only platform to have a universal AI widget, uh, making AI use seamless. Right, it's a very minimalistic way of AI consumption. We'll be talking about it in subsequent webinars. We have, again, very proud of this, the world's largest AI marketplace, according to Signify Research. We have lots of friends there. Not sure if they've tuned in today, but with about 155 apps from more than 65 vendors, so that you or your clients as healthcare providers are assured that you are always using the best possible AI solution for your patients, right? You do not need to compromise on what AI you use simply because we were unable to partner with them. So that's the philosophy behind this. We have world's top radiology groups, Mass General, Yale, RadNet. We recently announced partnership with them, the Singapore government, amongst many other. And something that IT teams really like about us is that we are infrastructure agnostic. We can be anywhere from on-prem to cloud, with anywhere in between. Marketing speak aside, let's move on to why we're doing what we're doing. I don't think one needs to emphasize the fact that expanding demand supply mismatch in the radiology industry today, right? The radiology industry today is one of the fastest growing specialties of medicine, in 10 to 12% per annum. So that means more tests. And there's new diseases out there, which again means more tests. But the unfortunate side is that because each of these scans needs to be read by a radiologist, uh, we don't have enough of them. Right? Radiologists are growing at a rate of about 2% per annum. Just yesterday, who further compounded that problem by adding that radiologists are also retiring. Right? I don't think we consider that variable, but yes. So what that means is that there's too many scans out there, not enough radiologists to read these scans. Of course, AI came to the rescue. 2016, 17, deep learning came to the fore, and today there's almost 400 plus AI startups out there, $5 billion of venture money invested in this, 950 plus FDA approvals to show for it, and unfortunately, very, very low adoption, simply because uh, healthcare providers find it impossible to navigate this complicated ecosystem of AI. Right? What does that mean? Let's go one step deeper there. Well, AI systems are difficult to access today for healthcare providers. There's nothing wrong with the AI ecosystem itself. The fact is that AI is being built today in niches, and we'll go deeper into that. But what happens because of that is that there are hundreds of absolutely amazing AI startups out there that are building very niche products, and their end user, radiologists, only derive value when they use multiple such AI systems together, right? In isolation, solving, chest X-ray, pneumothorax may be a great thing for patients in the ICU, but for the end user, um, it's just one of the 500 things that they do in a day, right? So it's this fragmented ecosystem that makes it very difficult as a healthcare provider to even keep up with what is happening today. Second is it's extremely difficult to assess these AI systems, right? As a provider, there is a lack of trust, which is well founded, right? We do not dismiss that lack of trust. In fact, that lack of trust arises because there is this problem of lack of generalizability of AI, right? An AI system might work really well at hospital A, but not at hospital B because the patients may be different, the equipment may be different, the data formats may be different, deployment methodologies may be different. There's a lot of variables there, right? And the key to figuring out whether an AI solution works for me or not is to use my data to validate it, right? Which is very expensive, time consuming. You need data science teams, so on and so forth. And let's say you're able to cross that chasm. Let's say you're able to pull out, multiple pilots in a year, and you're actually able to assess these AI systems. How do you even bring them into your clinical practice, right? How do these AI systems integrate with risk packs? How do these AI systems, what button do you press to see the outputs, or do you not press any button whatsoever? How do you give feedback? All sorts of questions remain unanswered because of this, difficulty in simply integrating these hundreds of solutions into AI, into clinical workflows as we have them today. Of course, a platform approach, which is what we do, is a way to combine all of these three elements, and at least from our vantage point and our customers' vantage point, seems like it is the only way to unlock uh, what we call exponential value from AI solutions, right? And you can only get exponential value if you combine multiple AI systems that do either different things or same things, and then you are able to interview these AI solutions effectively, and then finally use them in day-to-day clinical practice, right? So that's how we envision a platform approach. Uh, CARPL's approach has two steps to it. There is we call it the DevD framework, and these four webinars are also on that framework. Um, the dev process is nothing but uh, the process of figuring out uh, what AI to use. Right? It's as you navigate this entire ecosystem, there are generally decision makers at various health systems out there, decision makers at imaging companies, etc., whose job it is to figure out what AI solution or what solution in general should be used across the entire enterprise. So for them is CARPL's dev module, which stands for unimaginatively discovery, exploration, and validation of AI. And we will go deeper into each one of these in the subsequent webinars that we are doing. Today, of course, we will be emphasizing on the discovery piece, which I will just come to. But essentially, the dev process, the output of the dev process is what AI or what combination of AI do I use to start deriving value from AI. And then that outcome of the dev process is deployed across the enterprise using CARPL's deployment module. Right? So that is DevDSD, where your AI now comes into the hands of your clinical radiologists, right? The larger enterprise, the larger clinical group, where using a multitude of ways that we'll get into subsequently, one can use and essentially derive value in clinical practice from AI. How do we do all of this? Well, we've built a very robust, scalable, reliable platform that is also modular in its nature, that has a bunch of things that we'll not get into today. But yes, let's move a little bit into discovery now. Um and yeah, so what does it mean to discover AI using CARPL? Uh, as I mentioned, it's becoming impossible uh, to keep up with the growing AI ecosystem. Right? There's hundreds of AI applications getting FDA approvals every day, not every day, every year. And CARPL is your partner. CARPL is a healthcare provider's partner in navigating this ecosystem of apps, right? So, what does that mean? It means that we are not here to sell you AI. We are here to help you make the best buying decision around what AI to use, and then truly use it. And then, as you use it, make sure that you are getting the value that was promised to you uh, before you started using it, right? So it's not just that we are here to sell you a bunch of AI and then we run away. That's it. Our philosophy, our processes, our product strategy, everything relies on being a provider's partner in their AI journey and not a seller to the provider in that sense. So this is what our AI marketplace looks like. I'm sure that many of these names are familiar to many of the people on the call today. I hope some of our partners have joined in today. But suffice to say, uh, there is almost everyone that you may have heard of in these domains that we have the privilege again of working with, and we are grateful, thankful to our partners for the trust that they put into us, both financially, technically, commercially, and intellectually, if I may also say so. Um, and it's just very uh, heartening to see how it keeps growing year on year. This is the lower part of the chart. The chart has become so big that it's impossible to fit it into one slide without actually cropping it away. But yes, a lot of companies. I don't want to make the mistake of calling out a few companies because I don't want to be unjust to everyone. That's why you can read through them. If you're interested in any of these applications, reach out to us. If there's applications here you don't know existed, reach out to us. Many of these partners of ours are at a pre-product stage in some AI that they are building, and are constantly looking for clinical partners to help them refine their products, fine tune their products. So we are always on the lookout for ways in which we can help out our partner ecosystem that is out there. I'm going to pause here for a second, so that folks can consume the slide. Oh, I have just got a message saying that the sound is cutting off. Can somebody on my team please confirm? Anyways, while that happens, uh, moving ahead, uh, you know, uh, how does one even figure out the uh, impact of AI? Right? We spend a lot of time thinking about what is the most effective way of showing that there is, uh, an AI system out there that can do something, right? There's just so many dimensions to it, and today, I am just going to put out all of some of what we think about here at CARPL in terms of how one can look at AI in general, a few frameworks that might help in this discovery process, right? And then we are happy to go deeper on a call, reach out to us, any way we can help. The first is, of course, ROI based. Uh, the unfortunate or fortunate, I don't know, truth about the world is nothing gets bought that is not useful. And in the world of business, ROI, return on investment, is essentially the way one figures out whether something is useful or not. At Koppel, we use the COF model for ROI calculation, which is clinical, operational, and financial impact of a medical device. It is not mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive. So for the consultants out there, it's effective. So for example, you can have products that have either one of these or multiple of these, but ideally you should have any of these, right? So let's think about any product out there, right? You can look at a uh, brain stroke impact it has. Well, a patient has a better clinical outcome because they get diagnosed earlier, right? Or a radiologist picks up more smaller uh, leads than what they would have otherwise. Operationally, it helps navigate the neurology team. It helps get the OR ready, or the uh, you know does not get readmitted, gets you higher reimbursement, right? So that's just one of the frameworks to think about each of these AI applications, is what is its clinical, operational, and financial impact. The second way to classify AI is based on the clinical use case that the AI presents. Right? This is a combination modality, pathology, and then the workflow that it impacts. So, for example, let's say chest X-ray pneumothorax, right? So, chest is the body part, X-ray is the modality, pneumothorax is the pathology that is being detected by the AI, and then what is the workflow that is being impacted, right? The workflow could be assistance for a pulmonologist in the ICU, right? The workflow could be you trigger an alert for the radiologist to read a scan because you want to put in a tube, but you can't do that till the radiologist says that or confirms that there is indeed a pneumothorax there. So again, there can be near infinite combinations of this. This is essentially body part modality pathology itself is like a textbook, right? It's the index of a radiology textbook, and that's why there are so many AI out there. In fact, even in our categorization, when we show the marketplace, there is there's body part and then there's modality. We don't classify by pathology as yet in this chart, but yes, typically when we present to customers, we do go down to that level, and then we correlate uh, each of these use cases with the clinical, operational, and financial benefit that they offer. So, once again, the point I'm trying to enunciate is that it's not just about you know uh, giving you a menu of AI and then saying, "Hey, go out and figure it out yourself." We are there to do much more than that and to ensure that you get the promise of AI. And lastly, is we just call it process-based classification. What does the AI actually do? Well, it prioritizes a work list, right? It says, read this scan first. This patient needs you more than the other patients, so read this scan first. It can be automated reporting. There are applications today that can generate full-fledged text reports for various applications, right? That can go into your risks, and then all you have to do is make sure the report is fine and accept, right? It can assist you with detection of pathologies, right, where you have an ROI on a scan that you can use to either become better or faster in your clinical reporting. There are super resolution algorithms out there. While I'm not allowed to have favorites, I do think super resolution is the coolest. There are applications today that can make a bad looking MRI into a uh, great MRI or a good MRI, thereby either reducing the time to scan or reducing the life of an older scanner. And these work on DICOM images. These work for PET CTs as well. You reduce your FDG and you get the same image quality as what you would get with a non-FDG, with a regular dose FDG scan. So I know there's a lot of information here, and I wanted to present these frameworks as a starting point to our offering. The impact of AI depends entirely on the perspective that you have, right? There are folks who will care about ROI, folks who will care about clinical use cases, folks who will care about what exactly they do. The idea is everybody has to work in sync for this to truly work out. So with that, I will move on to the questions. I put the smiley here because I was hoping there will be some. So let's see what we have got. So yes, there was the question about sound. Yeah. So Abhishek asks, how do you work with different AI solution providers? And we are also into developing speech to clinical EMR, symptomatic CDSS in regional languages based in India. Got a few partners who are integrating it already. Let us know how to partner. So Abhishek, thank you for your question. We essentially, partnership for us is three things. There is technical, commercial, and clinical. Technically, you can give us a Docker container of your AI. You can expose an API of your AI. You can give us a VM. There's a bunch of ways. We will adhere to your input output specs and essentially run the AI. The second is commercially, there is a process where we become your resellers. So our team handles that. And clinically, it's important to for us to know how the AI affects patients. And in your case, regional language is amazing. I think it's a wide open space out there. So very happy that you are able to do this at chikitsa.io. Many congratulations. Then we have another question from Shruti. What are the biggest challenges doctors face while discovering AI? Why is this so hard to do? I think, Shruti, we covered it. It's hard to do because there's just so much to do. It's hard to do because there's a lot of opacity in terms of a claim that an AI makes and its real world performance on a local data set. It's challenging because Not everybody can go to all the conferences in the world and summarize what they see. So it's just the complexity of the existence of so many use cases that drives this. Imagine having to install apps on your phone without an app store, right? That's the level of complexity. Then we have a question from John. What is expected with the advent of LLM models? Will the fragmentation increase? Will it mean that every radiologist will end up building a solution tailored to their own patient set, using, say, an OpenAI as a base layer, resulting in infinite fragmentation? I would not be surprised, John, if that happens, to be very honest. OpenAI has recently announced that they will be letting out their visual training APIs as well, or visual fine tuning is what they call it, APIs as well. Visual language models already are doing tremendously well. We extensively use Llama 3.2 here at CARPL for data structuring and figuring out what's in a X-ray and all that. So single line answer, I would not be surprised. At CARPL, we are building that into our product strategy as well. So happy to chat. If you're interested, but thank you for that very insightful question. Where there can be near infinite fragmentation. I sometimes also think of it as the world of packs. There are open source packs out there since time immemorial, which have been customized by a lot of healthcare providers out there. And at the same time, there's billion-dollar PACS companies as well, and there continue to be newer and newer PACS companies emerge. So I think we'll have to live it to see it, but I would not. It would not be surprising for me. Next question is from my colleague Anushree. What's the reason behind the inception of the CARPL platform and not building an AI company? Ah, uh, well, CARPL started as a research group within Mahajan Imaging, which is India's largest leading medical imaging service provider. I had the privilege of running it. It's my family business, and we started at Mahajan Imaging as a validation shop for AI, and we also started building some AI initially, and then it hit us that if a doctor, an engineer, and a radiologist sitting in a basement uh, in New Delhi for a few hours a day can build a world-class AI system having enough data and enough compute, then anybody can. And we saw that happen, right? At that time, there were tens of companies. Very quickly, there were, hundreds. And that's when we realized that everybody was building AI, nobody was using it. And essentially, we decided to become the middle layer because we couldn't ourselves get these AI into our own practice without having these tools. So thank you for that question. Uh, Next up, we have a question from Prashant. How important is the role of the clinical radiologist in testing these AI applications that are already approved and out for commercial use? Prashant, great question. Uh, the nuance is that the FDA is ensuring safety. Performance is a secondary outcome. So when you are paying, say, $1 or $2 or what have you for an AI system per scan, it is on the user to figure out one, does it work? And two, does it help? And the only way that is possible is if the user themselves play with the AI. Think of it like, you can be a radiologist from the greatest medical school on the planet. Does not mean you will not get interviewed for a job, right? Because you need to, it's not just about evaluating whether it is good or not. It's about evaluating what it is good at and what it needs to improve at. So that's why there is a huge role of clinical radiologists in just doing pattern recognition on when an AI fails, when it does not fail, what's it good at, what's it not good at, ensuring you don't send stuff to it that it's not good at. So very, very, very important role. Happy to take this offline if you'd like. And The last question, does CARPL help with installation or setup of the AI solution in the clinical environment, or is it more of a marketplace for connection to the AI company by somebody who does not want to be disclosed? Well, Certainly. Our goal is not to just give you AI and run away with it and run away, right? Our goal is to ensure that using our universal AI viewer, universal AI widget, using our integrations with RiskMax, we have partnerships with some of the world's greatest PACS companies. Our job is not done till not only are you not only is AI installed in your um, clinical workflow, but also being used and driving value for you, the user. So, and that's what the next three sessions are going to be about. Exploration, validation, and deployment of AI. I think our time is complete. I think we've managed to go through all the questions there. Oh, one sec. I have a couple of questions that I missed. Sorry. So, are you having open internships for undergrad students? Very much so. Yes. To us, write to me on LinkedIn. I'll connect you to folks. Write to anybody at Couple. We are. I don't know. We have like a pipeline now because a lot of people want to work in AI, and we've had some of our best work done by interns over the past few years. So please do not hesitate to write to us. So great. Thank you so much for joining.